I know follow up is one of the most ignored things in almost every single industry of business, but it is especially ignored by almost everybody in the home services niche. So, what I'm going to be going over today is what you can do to implement this into your business and sell 2 times as much because you're following up consistently with leads over time, and eventually that'll compound and make you more and more money. So, getting into it, some common questions people have when talking about follow up. The first question is, when do I follow up? Preferably after your first meeting. Let's say they ghost you. You should have set in that meeting a time when you were going to follow up. So if you were going to give them something on Wednesday but they didn't respond, you should have told them in the meeting that you're going to follow up on Friday, and they should be expecting a call from you. So how can you remember to follow up with everyone? When you get a lot of leads coming in and you have so many people to follow up with, it can be pretty hard to follow up with all of them. But what I can tell you is, if you mark in your calendar every day that you should follow up with a certain prospect, it'll be so much easier for you to consistently follow up with everyone you meet. And if you consistently do it, people respect you more and people want to buy from you more. And the next question is, what should I follow up with? Again, you should ask the prospect what they're most comfortable with. If it's email, pick email. If it's phone call, pick phone call. Anything that they're the most comfortable with, pick that. And how do I structure the follow-up? So the structure you should follow up with is not talking about you. You should be talking about them. So you want to be talking about them in the follow-up call so they can make the decision. It's not you making the decision, it's them. So for example, hey, if you want something done by your time frame, I need to know so I can complete it on time. So if they want something done on a time frame but they're not responding to you, you should let them know that if they want it done on that time frame for themselves, they need to respond, and it'll give them a bigger reason to respond to your follow-up. So, the follow-up sequence for remodels. It's much more drawn out because they have more time to make a decision. It's a want rather than a need. So they won't make a decision right now, right away, because there's no pain to it. It's more of a pain over time. And the best thing I can tell you is try to get the answer as soon as possible. Either yes or no. Don't keep going with maybe, because that gets annoying over time. And the prospect should respect your time, and they should respond to you with an answer as soon as possible. So the follow-up sequence is that I use for all my clients is every week for the first month. So every week for the first month, then every other week for the second month of follow-up, and then every month for the next 3 months. And that should be the drawn out. Over 5 months, you should be following up with them for the first month every week, for the second month every other week, and then for the next 3 months just once every month. And that ensures that you're following up consistently over time, but you're also doing it over a long enough time frame that they can actually make a decision and choose you as the person they want to work with. So many people don't follow up anymore. They follow up once or twice in a week, and then they never follow up again, and that loses so many sales because sometimes prospects need a elongated time to make a decision. And if you don't allow them to do that, then they're not going to make a decision in the time frame that they want to. Now, for restorations, this is a much more of a needed service. So if you're doing a restoration for, let's say, a water leak or a pipe burst, you need to have an answer pretty quickly because this is a need. You need to fix the problem or else it's going to become a bigger problem, right? So the follow-up sequence is just every day for the next 7 days. After that, you don't have to follow up with them anymore because they probably chose another person to do the job for them. And I think 7 days is the perfect amount of time to follow up with them they have enough time to make a decision, but not too much time where they actually choose another person to work with. So this was the follow-up sequence I use. There's a specific way to talk to a prospect in the follow-up and use different like scripts for the follow-up, which I'll be sharing in another video. So if you can like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can see that next video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.